Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm sharing with you all how to make a perfect checkerboard cookies. And do watch it till the end guys, as I'm sharing some important tips and tricks all throughout the video that you would not want to miss. Tip 1 is to use conditioned butter. Condition in baking means a butter that is so soft that you can slice through using your fingers like the one I'm using here. To this conditioned butter, I'm adding in some icing sugar and then I'll blend it all well. To this, I'll add my curd little by little and give everything a good mix after each addition. And that is my tip number 2, which is to add your curd or eggs if you're using in intervals so that it does not split the butter if you tend to add it all at once. Once the curd is mixed through, add in a capful of vanilla extract and give everything a good mix. With the addition of extra liquid, you might find that the mixture is splitting a bit, but don't worry, it will come together once you add in the flour. Once the flour is almost mixed through, make a dough using your hands and then flatten it to give a rectangular shape. We will then freeze it in the freezer until the dough becomes hard enough to handle, say about for half an hour. That was our vanilla cookie dough. Let's start with the chocolate one. For this, again we'll blend in the icing sugar with conditioned butter, to which I'll add the curd in stages and blend everything well. Now I'm gonna sift in my flour and cocoa powder, and that's my tip number 3, which is to always sift your cocoa powder when using. We do this just to remove the lumps in it and to ensure that the cocoa powder is evenly mixed through. Once the flour is all mixed in, make a dough using your hands and then the usual, just flatten it out to give a rectangular shape, cling wrap and freeze for another half an hour until it's hard enough to handle. Here, I'm just keeping a bowl with normal water and a pastry brush ready. See how frozen the dough has now become? Makes it much easier to handle. Dust your work surface with some flour and then roll the dough to get a 16 by 20 rectangular shape. As you can see, the dough now measures a total of around 19 centimeters in length and about 23 in breadth. So I'll just trim the excess off to give it a proper rectangular shape. Now take your scale and make 8 markings in total, which are 2 centimeters apart from each other. I'll do this in 3 different places so that later it is easier to just join the dots and get a straight line. So long story short, in all we are making a total of 8 strips, which are 2 cm in length and 20 cm in breadth. I'll put this onto one side and start with our chocolate dough. For our chocolate dough, I'll follow the same procedure of rolling the dough into 16 by 20 centimeters and then dividing each into the same, that is 8 strips. So out of the 8 strips, I'll just leave 2 on my table and alternate the vanilla and chocolate dough, as you can see. Then I'll just apply some water onto the side of the dough and stick them really well. Let's repeat this procedure until all the base layers are stuck to each other. As you can see, the layers are not even. So what you can do is just take some scraps that you cut off earlier and stick to it to make an even layer. This has become so watery, I'll just move it to the other side of the board so that it is easy to handle and we can build the rest of the layers. So this time I'll start with the chocolate one first and then repeat the alternate layers as we did earlier. The one thing you can remember is the vanilla sits on top of chocolate and vice versa. With each addition, press the layers really well so that there's no gap in between. Once you have used up all the strips, just cling wrap it and press it real hard to keep a proper log shape and freeze this for about an hour or so. Can you see the beautiful pattern already? It's going to be an hour, so before we start any further, I'll just preheat the cooker. For that, I'm adding a layer of salt at the base of the cooker and then I'll place a stand on top of it. I'll close the lid without any gasket and without any weight on top. I'll put the cooker on high heat for 15 minutes. I've kept my cooker on preheating and now the log is all frozen. All we have to do is just slice it and then bake it. I'll cut off the top and bottom part to reveal the beautiful pattern and make an even slices of around 2 mm in thickness. Tip number 4 is to use a serrated knife for such activities like getting an even layer, be it cookies or cakes. Now that all the slices are cut, I'll just put it to a side and start greasing my idli plates with some oil, and we'll bake the slices in this idli plate. How cool is that, right? The only thing you need to note here is that you arrange the plates in a way that the holes are alternating to each other, just like we do while making idlis. And then all we have to do is just place this idli plate in our preheated pressure cooker and bake them for around 20 to 22 minutes on medium heat. I still have some cookies left over, which I'm gonna bake in my preheated oven of 180 degrees Celsius for around 12 to 15 minutes using double pan method. That's tip number 5. Bake your cookies or biscuits always using double pan method. Been 20 minutes, let's check on the cooker. As you can see, the sides have got nice golden brown color and the center remains pale, which is exactly what we are looking for. And my cookies from the oven are baked too. And that's it, friends, our beautiful checkerboard cookies are all ready. Don't forget to check the description box below for all the detailed tips that I have mentioned here and the measurements you need to note. If you like my pressure cooker baking series, then hit that like button and let me know in the comments below what would you like me to bake next. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you get instant notifications. Thank you for dropping by. I'll see you in my next one. Take care. Bye.